The first thing that would probably come to mind for me would be your distance from power lines. You know, you have these big sailboats that come in with these very tall masts, you know, that they hang their sails on and stuff like that. You know, you'd want to be at a minimum of 10 feet away from any power lines. If you crossed under them or around them, you know, you'd want to be at least 10 feet from them.
Don't have any loose cords running around, especially around water. You know, just have a lookout for that. You know, it also could be a tripping hazard. So definitely keep those cords short and tied down if you can.
We try to keep the walkways clear. We try to keep, you know, electric cords and trip hazards and so forth out of the way up and down our walkways. But I mean, you never know when somebody's going to follow into a lamp post, or, you know, we have pedestals out here, power pedestals that have, you know, as much as 240 volts going to them.
I know it's at the lake, you know, you're there to have a good time. It's so easy to lose focus and not worry where your surroundings are, you know.
You know, so you shouldn't be horse playing on the marina docks for your own safety. You know, it's just a dangerous deal. I've seen it done. I've seen people fall off the docks, horse playing and stuff. And fortunately, they wasn't hurt, but it could have been very easily hit their head on the bow of a boat or something or other. It's very easy to, if you get a little too rough, to fall and bump your head on something, and or even falling into the lake, and if you're not a good swimmer, or you knocked yourself unconscious going into the lake, there's a possibility of drowning.
You shouldn't swim within 100 feet of a boathouse. And it's because there could be electricity leaking off from the boathouse, either from the boathouse itself or from the boats that are in the boathouse. Boat docks typically are grounded, or should be grounded back to shore, but people don't realize the boats themselves can leak electricity into the water, and it can leak lethal amounts of electricity back into the water.
Power is supplied to those marinas and to those slips. Each individual slip has its own, you know, many of them have their own electric meters out there, you know, and there's power supplied to that slip.
There's a lot of electricity coming into the boat slips. You got your lifts coming up, they're operated by electricity. Your boats, a lot of these houseboats, and even the smaller ones, has electrical plug-ins plugging into the boats to keep the air conditioners running, to keep the appliances running in the boats. You never know when there might be some sort of connection that's not making a good connection, and could cause a current out into the water. You know, and if you're swimming in the water and you feel this electricity, you know, it could stop your heart. You know, again, go unconscious for whatever reason, and you drown.
You could have electric current leakage that could get into the water. It could be a very small, you know, even you know, 100 milliamps of power of electric leakage into the water would never trip a breaker. However, it's enough to paralyze a swimmer or incapacitate that swimmer to the point that they drown.
But a lot of times when people hit the water, they're instantly shocked and they instantly go down. They just lock up and go down. They don't have a chance to holler. Their friends will turn around and look, and they won't be there.
You know, when you first enter the water, you may not feel any tingle or anything, you know. But then, say the air conditioner kicks on that boat, and it could be severe enough that it just paralyzes you. You know, there again, if you had a life jacket on, you know, if you feel something like that, you certainly need to swim away from that boat, dock, or whatever.
So if you're swimming around the docks and you feel that tingle of electricity, swim away, get away from the dock, and then contact someone with the marina or whoever's taking care of your electricity that we need to find the problem or the source of this problem.
If somebody falls into the water and starts getting shocked, I think you should press that button, and so all electrical current will shut off.
If you know where the emergency shutoff is for electricity on these, and there's an electrical problem, go to that shutoff, hit that button, and let's get it shut, get the electricity shut off, and then get the marina people there to repair whatever problems we have that needs to be repaired. Well, what you shouldn't do is jump in the water after them. You know, some reason this person has become disabled and probably due to electricity.
You don't want to go jump in there yourself, throwing a rope or a life jacket and roll them in.
You reach, there's always a broom or something around on these docks. You reach out and try to pull this person to safety, or throw something if you don't have anything to reach. You know, a life jacket, anything that'll float, throw it to them so they can get a hold of it, and try to pull them in to the safety of the dock, or, you know, if you can get them out of the range of this electrical shock, you know, just get them out quick. For sure, check your electricity around your boats and your boats whenever you go out to the lake for the first time this summer. And it wouldn't hurt to do it a couple times during the summer. You never know what may happen as far as some kind of electrical problem that you might have somewhere along the way. You know, you just need to check and make sure that there's not any corrosiveness on any of the electrical plug-ins or anything that inside the boats, refrigerators, air conditioners as such, aren't, you know, something may be wrong with them. We need to get repaired before the summer season starts. So at least once a year we need to inspect the docks around our boat and our boats.
Bottom line, if you're around, you know, the lake, boat marinas, you know, just out there having a good time, I think you should always have it in your back of your mind, the process of just being safe. Don't ever skip a step, you know, just to skip over it, because that step could save your life.
You can prevent the accidents. Everybody's responsibility to prevent any boat accidents out there. You can prevent a lot of accidents yourself. Just wear the life jacket. That's the main thing. Wear that life jacket when you're at the lake. When I worked on Lake Murray for 15 years, I never worked a drowning with a person wearing a life jacket.